All I'm saying, you keep fucking with Rue and her friends, and I'ma kill you.
I finally watched Euphoria for the first time. I just binged watched the first couple of episodes before this new episode, Cassie's episode, the episode before the finale next week, and I just wanted to do a quick review because Euphoria is really, really good. Before I didn't want to watch because I was like a high school show and Zendaya playing another high schooler. I was like, she's already played a high schooler twice. And I was like, I want to see something different from these shows. And I was like, this is just, I'm not interested. But then I started seeing the reviews on Twitter and I started seeing people talk about it. And I was like, the show is getting like pushed and it's getting like really good feedback. And at first I was like, maybe they're just getting feedback because they're being sponsored, and that's why it's such a positive reaction, is because Drake is producing it and it's sponsored and it's Zendaya, and I just thought that that was why people liked it so much. Curious, it's a high school show about freaking drugs and shit. You know what, this sounds pretty interesting. Let me give it a watch. I watched the first episode on YouTube because Euphoria, HBO put it on YouTube, and I was like, this is pretty good. I like Rue. I like Zendaya's room. Like, I've never seen Zendaya curse more than 5 times in a row before. This is very different. But also, it was just the characters, the character development in the first episode was really, really good. And I was like, you know what, I'm going to keep watching. So I went on HBO and I watched it and I couldn't stop watching after that. And so I was patiently waiting for this episode with Cassie, and it finally premiered, and I want to get into the discussion around Cassie and her character before the season finale. Each episode is basically like Dear White People, where they have the characters and they each get their own separate episode. I actually like that method. I think it's better to do that when you're binging a show, even though the show's not a binge show, but I did binge the first like 5 episodes. But just like Dear White People, each character gets an episode where they're centered around the storyline and the plot of that episode. But unlike Dear White People, Zendaya is still narrating the episode mainly in all these episodes. The main character. So Cassie is the sister to Lexi. I love their little duo. But Cassie is, as we saw in the first couple of episodes, she's dating McKay, who is a freshman in college. And he is a football player who is trying to find himself because he does not think that he actually can make it to the NFL. And she is a... No, let's get into her childhood. Cassie is the daughter of an alcoholic mom and an dad who is recently absent. She was an ice skater and she loved ice skating, and that was her passion when she was younger. But over time, she couldn't take the lessons anymore because her parents could not afford it and her dad could not afford it. So they stopped pushing her to do that. And after that, her parents' relationship started to crumble, and her mom started getting more and more into alcohol and wilding out. And her dad, who was a flirt, but I don't think he's ever cheated, he was losing money. He couldn't keep a stable job, and he is conflicted with himself. So one night, he's like getting more and more distant, and one night, he gets in a car accident. I guess he was drunk, or maybe he was just sleepy, and he kind of falls asleep at the wheel, and he runs into a truck, and he almost lost his life and almost lost the ability to walk and move. And Cassie is visiting him in the hospital. She is trying to connect back, have that connection that they had when she was younger. Is just not there anymore, and he's depressed basically because he almost lost his life. And he leaves, but then he comes back one more time before he permanently leaves, and that is to see Cassie, to get some plates and stuff, I guess, to sell off and to give to his drug dealer, because see by the arm markings, he is more than likely addicted to heroin. So Cassie has this weird relationship when it comes to guys, where she connects with guys very, very quickly. She falls in love very, very fast. She's very, very pretty. She develops very early. In the episode where her uncles and her family's guy friends are very pervish and very nasty towards her and are fondling her, and she's very uncomfortable, but she doesn't know how to respond. And so when she's around these guys, they see her vulnerability, and they see that she is she's naive and in a way innocent, and they use that to their advantage. Like every time they're in an intimate space, they want to record her, do nasty things to her. She doesn't want to do it, but they convince her to do it, and she doesn't want to say no because she doesn't want to seem like that girl. And we all know girls like that who just do not know how to say no, even when you know that they don't want to do it. And so then she meets McKay, and McKay to her is just different, and he just treats her different. He sees her differently. He's not trying to force her to do anything. And in the last episode, we saw the tampons on the table, and she's like, fuck. And so in this episode, she takes the pregnancy test, and it comes out as positive, and she's pregnant. And eventually she has to tell McKay. We'll get into that. During this episode, we also see Rue is battling a strong depression. And she is having these episodes, but before she has her first episode, where she's discovering this thing with Jules and Nate, and this pitting these charges on that guy. I forgot his name. I'll figure it out. But Rue is in her room, and she's in the bed, and she is just dead, basically. Like, she's not moving, she's sweating. She doesn't want to get up to use the restroom. That's a huge sign of depression, and personal hygiene is just not your top priority, and you just don't want to move. And it's just because you just do not have the ability to do that. It's just like you don't have the energy. It's not out of laziness. It's really just out of just like this. When Rue says that like all your days blend together when you're depressed, that is very true. Because it's just like, when is all these what day is it? Like, what day are we on? It's that kind of situation where you lose track of time because it's moving so fast and so slow at the same time. And so all Rue's doing is just laying in bed, and it's just with old makeup from that party, and it's just in her bed watching Love Island and on her laptop, and it's just like, I can only focus on this because I can't focus on anything else, so I can only watch reality TV because that's all I can like fixate on. But then when she can't fixate on it anymore, she not deadpans. She just goes black, and then she just goes manic. The first manic episode is when she's trying to figure out what's happening with Jules, Nate, and this whole why Jules just disappeared for a week and she can't get a hold of her. So in the last episode, we saw Tyler Clarkson turn himself in and take over Nate's charge because Nate is blackmailing him, because Nate used Tyler's name when he was talking to Jules, and Tyler is actually 22, and this is what Rue's discovering, that Tyler is actually 22 and Jules is 17. So that's statutory rape, and so a lesser offense would be assault. So Nate knew this from the beginning. So when he's talking to Jules and connecting with her, and Jules is falling in love with him, she thinks she's falling in love with Tyler, when in actuality she's falling in love with Nate. And so last episode we see them, or 2 episodes, we see them collide, and we see Nate blackmail her. And now he's blackmailing Tyler because, as you know, Nate choked what's her name? Nate choked his girlfriend, and he because of his blackmailing and his whole like psycho ways, he got booked, but he didn't get booked, and so he blackmailed the actual Tyler into going to the police station and taking the offense for him, and convinced Jules to testify and say that it was true, basically, because he's blackmailing both of them. Then we see that whole manic episode with Lexi and Rue, I hope that's her name, Cassie's sister, and they're in a bathroom, and that whole scene, at first I was confused. I was like, is this a fantasy? But it is a fantasy, just like the dick pic fantasy thing. This is another fantasy, and I love the whole aesthetic of the whole scene of her in the detective outfit, and they're both detectives, and they're trying to uncover it, and they're in the bathroom, and Rue is just like and then this happened, and this happened, and then this happened, and then this happened, and then are you understanding? And she's smoking the cigarette, and she's just like, and Lexi's just like, okay, yeah, and Rue's just like, are you understanding what I'm saying? She's going freaking crazy. Eventually, Rue goes home, and she falls back into her like dead period, basically, after going manic and trying to tell, no, her name's Maddie, right? It's not Lexi, it's Maddie. I don't know. Trying to tell the sister everything that's going on. And in the meantime, because a lot of shit was going on this episode, in the meantime, Cassie is still trying to tell her friends about everything that's going on. And I think this is the next scene of where Cassie invites all the girls to the house, Kat and the other girls to the house, and they're talking, and Cassie is just trying to tell them about her pregnancy, but she doesn't feel comfortable enough to do it yet. And her name's Maddie. Kat and Maddie get into it, and they have a little falling out, and Kat goes home crying because they hurt each other's feelings, because they just basically told the truth about each other, and they just had an argument about it. I think they'll be fine. Cassie does not tell them about the situation at hand. I don't think she should have. I just think that every character has so much shit going on. So I like that in the end she eventually tells her mom. And I think in the next episode we see that she is more than likely going to get an abortion, because she told McKay. And McKay did not react the best. Basically like reaction like, I have a career, I am in college, everybody's going to kill me, my coach is going to kill me, my dad's going to kill me, everybody's going to kill me. I need you to make the right decision. And she's just like, I just wanted to just feel that way for just a second. So she sees that he's not supportive of it. She sees that her friends can't be supportive of it. And the only person that she can go to is her mom. And her mom, I think, convinces her of the right decision. Oh yes, we also discovered that the night of the party that Kat and Daniel, who were childhood friends, turned not childhood friends / boyfriend / girlfriend, confusing situation. They have sex that the night of the party, and Kat is like, remember when we dated in 6th grade? And he's like, no. And it hurts her feelings a little bit. That's before she runs out and goes back home, because Maddie and Kat get into it at the little table read, whatever the situation was over there. So then Rue finally gets out of the bed again, and she's going to get cereal, and guess who's at the house? The ugly ass boyfriend that her mom is dating, who is no, I hope they break up soon, because that guy is not the nicest looking guy on the planet, and Rue does not like him at all. And so they're sitting at, this was the funniest scene of the episode, Rue's mom and the guy, they're sitting at the table drinking wine, and Rue's getting her cereal, and the guy is trying to like, so you have a little friend, don't you? And then Rue was like, you know what, go fuck yourself. and Rue's mom was like, Rue, why would you say that? She's like, say what? Go fuck yourself? That whole part was funny. And he's just like, did I say something wrong? Yes! Overstepping boundaries. She don't know you like that, bruh. Who are you? Side note, Rue says cunty. I've never heard, I'm gonna just be honest, black people don't say cunt. Who says cunty? No one says cunty. So that part made me cringe. I was like, who says cunty? Cunty. I mean, I was a little cunty. No one says cunty. Especially not black people. What is going on? But, you know, this is not a black show, so. The writer probably is not black. Probably doesn't know black people don't say cunty. But black people don't say cunt. Who says cunt? So then Rue has another manic episode, and she goes to Fez's house. I think that is Fez's mom or grandma that he's sponge bathing. And I guess she's like brain dead. I don't know what was wrong with that lady, but yeah. So Rue was talking and going crazy, and Fez is just like, yep. Fez is like the most chill character. Fez is about to be my favorite character. Him and Rue are about to be my favorite characters. Fez is just like, yep, Rue. All right. And so then his dealer comes and Fez is just like, listen, Rue, I need you to calm the fuck down. Please relax. Please sit your ass here. Don't move. Don't say anything. Please don't F this up. He's like, sit the fuck down. Don't fucking say anything. Just sit there. Just sit there. Don't move. And Rue was like, I can't move. I can't not move. I can't. So then eventually Fez leaves, and then the pill bottles start speaking to Rue. And Rue was just like, oh shit. Oh shit. And the pill bottles are like, eat me, eat me, eat me. So then she just leaves. And thank God she leaves the house safe and sound without getting detected, only by Fez. But she leaves and she's counting her steps and she's going back home because she's going nuts. So then, what else happens? Jules goes to visit her friend from the city that she's from, and they have a little intimate moment. And Jules's friend is flirting with Jules and just like talking to her about her transition and about her sexuality, and they're just having a chill-ass conversation and doing each other's makeup and shit. I already told y'all about Cassie telling McKay she's pregnant. Let's fast forward to when Fez is at his job and Nate's punk ass shows up. It starts off all cool. Everything is all cool. Everything's good. And Fez is like, you know what? You're messing with Rue and her friends. And then eventually he's like, you know what? Keep fucking with Rue and her friends, and I'm gonna kill you.
All I'm saying, you keep fucking with Rue and her friends, and I'm gonna kill you.
And Nate is just like a fucking psychopath. Well, he didn't laugh, but he was just like, and this punk ass calls the police on Fez. Oh, that shit pissed me off. I was like, you really are a bitch ass motherfucker. Like, what is wrong with you? Really? All Nate does is call the police. He been calling the police the whole season. I need Nate to go. I need Nate to be punched in the face. I need Nate to I need something bad. If something bad doesn't at least happen to Nate, at least I need somebody to expose his pedophile ass dad. Like, I need something to happen to Nate. To Nate and his family, because they all get on my nerves. Nate, something needs to happen to Nate pronto. Come on. Come on. I need Nate to get fucked up. That's what I want. Somebody needs to fuck Nate up. He needs to go. Forever. I hope that that freaking Fez gets out of this situation. That's what I hope for. I pray to God that by next Sunday, Fez is not in jail. But I think in the preview we see that Fez has a gun and something, so he's not in jail. So we already know that. But hopefully Rue fucks his ass up. He needs to go forever. Forever and ever. Forever and ever. Jules is trying to text Rue. Rue is asleep, finally. And Jules it feels bad because she slept with that girl. And it's just basically like, you know what, I feel guilty. I was high as fuck. I went to this party. I pretended that she was you or Nate. I really don't know. That fantasy was very weird to me. But yeah, hopefully they get their relationship together. I want them to be together. I don't want Jules to hurt Rue because Rue is already depressed because of her. So hopefully they get it together and all's well that ends well in that situation. Yeah, this episode was a lot. Each episode is a lot. That's what I really, really enjoy about this show, is that the show is so dynamic for a high school show and is written so well. That's the difference between this show and Grownish, is that Grownish, as I watch this show about high schoolers, I'm like, I'm getting more out of these characters and these high schoolers' stories than I am of Grownish, because Grownish is really just like a Twitter discussion board. Like, it's a Twitter discussion TV show, which is cool, but it's just like, I hope that season 3 they fix the writing and give the characters more shit to talk about other than Twitter talking points that we discussed 6 months ago. That's a little boring to me. I love the show. I love the characters. I cannot wait for the new characters to come next season. But I just hope that they get more dynamic writers who are younger and can actually write the story for the particular audience that is watching it. Because, yeah. Overall, I rate this Euphoria episode a 6 out of 5. It was really, 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 really good. I think that this season finale is going to be freaking amazing. I hope that they started writing season 2 already, because I can't wait. I can't wait. Insecure is about to come back next year. The Shy is probably not going to come back for a while with this whole situation. I can't. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel for more videos. Peace.